I went and just took a few minutes to tour the concentration camp site at Dachau. And, it was unbelievably powerful. And I'm going to show you this piece because, and the reason I wanted to go there is that I've heard so much of this craziness that I talked about from the left, talking about Trump as Hitler and all that, I wanted to get a better sense of what it was really like living under Nazi Germany. So take a look at this piece.
I call this a concentration camp for kids because that's exactly what it's turning out to.
The Hollywood director and the producer, Judd Apatow, he tweeted this out. He's talking about the president. He says he's a Nazi. He wants no judicial process. He kidnapped children and commits acts of violence for political gain and to support his racist views.
We can't find a solution to this problem without harming children, right? Without putting them into concentration camps.
Dachau, factory of horrors. It is known that from 1941 to 1944, up to 30,000 people were entombed here at one time, and 30,000 were present when the Allies reached Dachau. They came from Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, France, and Holland. Incoming prison trains arrived, carrying more dead than living. Those strong enough to travel were brought to Dachau from outlying points which were threatened by the Allied advance. This is how they looked when they arrived. Some survived, and when the rescuers arrived, they administered what aid they could. Others died after the liberation. They were buried by their fellow prisoners. This is what the liberators found inside the buildings. These are the survivors.
So I just spent a couple hours inside Dachau. This is this memorial site for the first concentration camp opened by the Nazis. And, it's an incredibly powerful and visceral experience for sure. But it got me thinking that, we should really stop in the United States trying to compare so much of what happens politically, what we see in the news. We see so many people comparing what's happening in the U.S. today to the Nazis and what happened back then. And I think that to do so, especially after visiting this, is every bit as ignorant as it is disrespectful to the 41,500 people who were murdered inside those walls. We need to just stop. We need to stop comparing everything to the Nazis, because nothing that is happening in the United States right now compares to this. We have to remember and to teach our kids that it was the U.S. 7th Army that liberated this camp, because that's what Americans do. Americans bring liberty. And we also need to teach them what they teach their children in Israel about the Holocaust, and that is never again. Never again. That was a really gut-wrenching couple of hours, walking through the memorial there, looking at the museum there at Dachau. And, I think that everybody should get a chance to go through something like that. We need to talk about those kinds of historical events more in our country, because they really give you a sense of what we have, the shoulders we stand on, I guess, here in America. When you look at the footage of the 7th Army soldiers rolling in there and liberating those people, and people that are so emaciated, just being able to finally smile because it looked like that they might actually survive, when so many did not. It's very, very powerful. It gives you a real sense of pride in what America is all about. And, like I said about these protesters in front of the ICE office in Portland, Oregon, if they want to go out there and they want to camp out and scream and yell and hold signs, go for it, man. Knock yourself out. But don't pretend that what is happening today with the United States attempting to enforce its immigration law. That's all we're doing. It's just enforcing the law. Don't pretend that that is like anything that was seen in Nazi Germany. Because, like I say in that piece, that just shows that you're both ignorant and disrespectful.